You just released your new song, Diosa. Can you tell me about the song?
I'm really excited about this new song. It's my another exploration in like Latin rhythms and Latin music. I released a song a little while back called Fuego Lento,
I heard
and,
it. I liked
and
it.
oh, awesome, thank you. And it's in Spanish, and I have a big fan base, a big Latin American fan base, and
Hmm.
um, big Spanish speaking fan base here in the States. And so I thought it'd be really cool to do something in Spanish with like Latin vibes. And that went over really well. And so I wrote another one and just put it out last Friday, and it's doing really well. And everybody seems to dig it. It's really cool.
For sure. So what's the song about?
It's like a past love um, that is kind of I don't know. It's like a dangerous love, like somebody who is who you are passionate with, but is probably not right for you. And like the lyrics are like you're un pecado, pero like you're a sin, but a religious experience. So it's kind of that like tug of war between passion and romance, and knowing that she's dangerous.
For sure. I think we've all been there.
Sure.
And then also Fuego Lento received a lot of views on YouTube, I saw, and like a lot of plays. What was that like for you, seeing the big reaction from all the fans?
It's awesome. I mean, I was definitely trepidatious and nervous when I went into the studio and wrote it and sang it in Spanish and wondering what people are going to think. But the reaction's been really great. So it was a surprise. It was really cool.
That's amazing. Do you speak Spanish?
I speak a little bit. I'm learning, still learning. But I spend a lot of time in Mexico and all over Latin America.
You
So
toured there a lot, right? Like
yeah, I'm there all the time. I would have been there all summer
Oh,
had it not been for everything that's going on.
definitely.
But yeah, I spend a lot of time in Mexico, Latin America, and so I'm around it a lot. I'm speaking it a lot,
That's great.
and so it makes it easier to move it into the music.
Do you have any like rituals you do or practices to sing in Spanish with like the accent and everything, right? Do you find it difficult for you to record in Spanish?
No, just practice. I mean, like with anything, it's just you got to use it. You got to speak and speak and speak, and then it's like with my instruments. It's like you start slow. If you're learning something on the piano, if you just try to do it fast, you're never going to get it. But if you go really slowly, then all of a sudden, in a couple of days, you're like, whoa, that's awesome,
Is the Latin vibe something you want to pursue more with your music moving forward?
For sure. I mean, I love Latin music, like, and all kinds. I mean, I love people like Christian Nodal, um, uh, Latin pop, urban Latin, mariachi. Yeah, I think Christian's my favorite right now, but yeah, I love it. And spending so much time there, you meet so many other musicians, and you go to concerts and you play festivals, and you're just totally immersed and surrounded by that music.
What's like your favorite part about seeing that part of the world when you're like touring and doing events and things like that?
And seeing another side of life, and different cultures and different. I love traveling so much and meeting people and it's great to have the job of a touring musician because you have friends all over the world. And so yeah, so it's just great. The food's amazing when you travel outside, and you meet so many different people, and the fans are all different everywhere. So it's cool.
And I also saw like you release music videos for Fuego Lento. I'm not sure about Diosa yet. I'm not sure. Do you have one in the works?
Not yet because of quarantine. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to shoot it soon. I want to shoot it in Tulum, Mexico.
Oh, cool.
It's beautiful there, and it's got very beachy vibes. So
that would be great for that.
Yeah, and just to go on vacation.
Amazing. And you also recently released the Lost album. I know there's some kind of story behind that. Can you tell me more about that?
I made this record. Well, I made demos about 10 years ago, and I recorded them at my house and put, fake drums on them, and we recorded guitars and bass and vocals and my pianos and a bunch of stuff. but we never finished them, and they got put on a hard drive and then shoved in a garage somewhere and got all waterlogged and damaged. And then years later, I was wondering whatever happened to those songs, because they were pretty cool. And so we found the hard drive and took it to a guy who fixes hard drives.
So
And
cool.
we got it all cleaned up, and we plugged it in, and not knowing what we were going to find, and not even really remembering a lot of the songs that we'd recorded. And when we plugged it in, everything was there, all the files were there. And so it was like this big puzzle that just had some missing pieces. And we went in and recorded real drums and put real horns on there, and finished up some of the vocals, finished writing some of the songs, because some of the songs only had like a verse and then a missing verse, and things like that. So we went in and finished it up and made a really, really cool album. I'm really proud of that one. That one's a lot of fun. That was more of a little pet project, just finally getting this work that you'd done so long ago finally finished.
The best feeling, because like I listen to It's Never Over. I really like it, and I noticed that it sounds like kind of like your old stuff, like makes me happy, and
Yeah.
your Nickelodeon vibes. Was that around the time that like you lost the hard drive?
Around probably 2009, 2010. So I had been writing a lot of stuff for a follow-up album to It's Only Time. And so I think I was kind of on that same path musically. And then exploring like a lot of other genres and styles, because I mean there's stuff on there that sounds like It's Only Time, but then there's also stuff that sounds like Steely Dan or just other vibes. So yeah, I was listening to a lot of Harry Nilsson at the time, and so there's some like a lot of Harry Nilsson, Brian Wilson, Beach Boys inspired stuff on there.
My favorite song off the album?
Sail On. I just that's like my Brian Wilson opus. I just like it's me trying to be Brian Wilson.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I love the harmonies and the background vocals on that song, and the way it changes from, very slow at the beginning, and then the chorus takes on a completely different vibe, and it's very Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, Pet Sound.
Would you ever want to make an album completely where you sing in Spanish or with like a complete Latin vibe to it? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd love to collaborate with other Latin artists, and like I just recorded a cover of La Camisa Negra.
I'm using my like high school Spanish knowledge, the black t-shirt or shirt or something.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yeah. The black t-shirt. By Juanes. And that's todo en español, all in Spanish. So I recorded that last night. And it sounds cool. I mean, I love it's a challenge, and it sounds cool, and there's so many things that you can say, like when you translate the Spanish lyrics into English, like, oh my gosh, it's such a cool idea, but if I said that in English, it wouldn't be that cool. You know what I mean? If I say like, I'm wearing a black t-shirt because because it's black like my soul, it doesn't sound that cool, but La Camisa Negra, and then, everything sounds cooler in Spanish,
Definitely. And also you mentioned like we have like older music from you. Do you have like a favorite song that fans still ask you about like to this day, even though it's been so many years since like you made the older stuff?
Oh man, there's tons. I mean, I Know, Makes Me Happy, obviously Found a Way. Yeah, I have a studio down the street, and I was in there. I was in there till like 4 a.m. last night. But yeah, we were making. I was cutting some acoustic versions of some of my songs.
That's awesome. And would you want to tour again in the future once the whole quarantine is over? Is that something you're looking to do?
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to be on tour all summer. I was supposed to be on tour right now. Actually, this Friday, I think I was supposed. Oh wait, what's today? What is today? Yeah, this Friday I was supposed to be in Guadalajara and playing shows. I had a concert there, but that's just one that I saw recently. I was like, wait, there's a concert of me posted. My manager was like, yeah, that was supposed to be this Friday. You were supposed to be there. But yeah, I had a bunch of college shows that got canceled. I was getting ready, packing up, and no más conciertos.
What have you been doing to occupy your time and like stay safe during the quarantine?
Watching a lot of TV.
I bet.
And playing guitar, practicing piano. I've gotten a lot better on my piano, so that's pretty cool.
Good.
And yeah, just
hanging out.
Being muy aburrido.
Me too. I'm from New York City, so I've been like trapped in the house for a long time. It's been crazy.
Yeah, very boring.
Also, I have to talk about, of course, Drake and Josh. I know you're probably tired of hearing about it, but it was a big part of your life and all of like your fans and everything. What was your overall favorite part about that experience?
Obviously, it was so much fun making the show. I mean, being on the show was incredible, and because it was just such a fun show and so crazy and wacky.
Yeah.
And we had such a great cast. We're all still friends. Jonathan, who plays my dad on the show, was just over at my house yesterday. We were hanging out. So I mean, probably just the cast was amazing, and all the writers and all the crew and everybody who work on the show. I go and I visit them all the time on the other shows they're working on, and we were like a big family. So cool to have been the fans to have been at that age where when something's important to you and it's nostalgic to you, I mean, it sticks with you forever. So like how people are coming, friends is, people who are young can find it and gain new fans. And but yeah, there's nowhere in the world that I can go where people aren't telling me how much they love the show. It's amazing.
That's true. And also I know like there was Where's Walter or like YouTube thing. Like, can you tell me more about that?
Me and Johnny, who plays my dad, who plays Walter, hanging out at my house and being very bored. And
yeah.
thinking, hey, we should just, I just bought some camera equipment. We should just go shoot something funny. And we started this whole, Walt, like a side story for Walter. And we just came up with this crazy, like meta, he breaks out of TV and he doesn't know that he's, a clone of this actor so that was just me and Johnny just being crazy.
That's good to have some like clarification, because like me, I was like watching some, I was like, this is like so confusing but also so cool at the same time, seeing like the old characters back again after so many years have passed.
Yeah.
And do you have like a favorite episode that you filmed from like Drake and Josh?
I love the treehouse episode. I think that's really funny. Anytime Josh and I are stuck somewhere, like the Vicious Tiberius episode when we were stuck in the Mrs. Hafer's bathroom,
Like
or
last week.
or stuck on the side of the road with the trying to get the cake to our aunt's wedding.
Oh yeah.
I like anytime where it's just me and Josh and we're stuck somewhere is pretty funny.
It's always a fun time. And last, have anything fans can look forward to?
Yeah, I'm writing a movie right now that's going to take place in Mexico. And it's like a romantic comedy, kind of a la My Big Fat Greek Wedding or Fools Rush In. So I'm writing that right now, and hopefully do that. I mean, we don't know anything about how the world's going to be here, so it's all just preparation for when it does open back up and everything goes back to normal. And then just recording more music and doing a lot of live streaming. Like I have a show this Saturday that's really fun. I'm doing more of like a talk show where I'm the host, and I have a bunch of guests coming on, and I'll be the musical guest as well. So I'll be playing a bunch of the new music and a bunch of old favorites, just to make it a little different, because I've been doing so many live stream concerts, and when you're going from town, city to city, you get to play a new, it's a new show for whoever's in the audience. But when you're playing on live stream and anybody can tune in, it's almost gets monotonous where you're playing the same set. If I play the same set every night on my tour, it's fine. Because it's a new audience every night. True. But with streaming, now we have to figure out some new ways to make it more interesting so that when your fans tune in, they're not just seeing the same 10 songs that they've been seeing for the past 3 months.
That's so cool that you're doing like live concerts on Zoom. I'll have to like look into that. So cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a way to, it's a good way to keep connected with the fans. I'm glad that this I'm not glad that this, that this happened, that COVID arrived, but you always try to find some silver lining, and at least it happened now when we have all of this technology to stay connected, then rather than in the 60s where, what would have happened if this happened when the Beatles were emerging and they didn't get to come to the United States and they didn't get to break and they had to stay in England and Liverpool, and they were supposed to go on tour, and then nothing. I mean, the Beatles could have never happened, So I'm glad that we were able to, the silver lining at least is that this is happening when we can all continue to stay connected and have, technology like this.
Honestly, where can fans like listen to your music or stream it or buy it? Are there certain websites or just all like the streaming platforms and everything?
Yeah, all this, everywhere you can buy music. Spotify, you can just listen to it on YouTube, iTunes, all of the regs.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much.